3073 BC, 8:22 AM. The Anunnaki homeworld Nibiru reached aphelion, furthest distance from the Sun, after travelling away from inner system far out in the Kuiper belt for 366 years, since passing over the ecliptic in 3439 BC. It now begins to journey back towards the inner system. This is the 200th year of the life of Enoch. 3067 BC, 8:28 AM. Planet Phoenix enters the inner system, completing its 138-year orbit, and begins journey back out into the Kuiper belt. This was the second time that Phoenix entered the inner system since Enoch was alive. As Phoenix is the planet of chronology and Enoch was famous for being a seer chronologist, the two facts do not seem to be unrelated. This year is the exact midpoint of antediluvian history, being 828 years after man was banished from Eden in 3895 BC and 828 years to the Great Flood in 2239 BC. As this is 46 years after start of Mayan calendar, sometime in this year is the 552nd year of Mayan chronology. 3031 BC, 864 AM. After 330 years below the ecliptic, the ancient Earth killer comet group enters the inner system, passing close to Earth, illuminating the skies. This year is of great calendrical significance. It was Enoch's 120th year as an emperor, and as it was 864 Annus Mundi, it began a 792-year countdown to the Great Flood in 2239 BC, 792 being the orbital period of the Anunnaki planet Nibiru. This year was 2208 of the Anunnaki chronology, or 552 times 4 years, and 408 years since their descent to Earth, or 2448 plus 2448 months. In Egypt, the number for catastrophe was 2448, as seen in 1447 BC. The number 864 links time and space and is the most important of all calendrical numbers. It is the mathematical nexus between all the world's calendrical systems, based off the numbers 6, 12, and 144, a golden proportion number. In time and space, it relates to the movement of the Earth. A day, 86,400 seconds, 60 days, 86,400 minutes, 360 days, 8,648 hours, 24 years, 8,640 years, 72 years, 864 months. The sum of 864 is 432 plus 432, or 144 times 6, or 108 times 8. As the Earth orbits the Sun every 864 years, the zodiac retrogrades 12 degrees in the cycle of precession, a degree being 72 years. 11 degrees is 792 years. This occurs as Earth travels along the ecliptic plane at 66,600 miles per hour around the Sun. The Sun's radius is 432,000 miles, giving it a diameter of 864,000 miles, about 108 times the diameter of Earth minus 8640 miles. Earth's own equatorial diameter before the flood was 7920 miles, but the equatorial bulge was caused at the Great Flood in 2239 BC, increasing this girth by 6.41 miles. The Earth is 93 million miles away from the Sun, and by these unusual facts seems to be commensurate. Because of the size of the Sun, the size of the Earth and the distance between them, the dark shadow behind the Earth pointing away from the Sun, called the umbra, always points away from the Sun at a distance of 864,000 miles. The umbra is the region of total shadow, unlike the penumbra, which is partial shadow. This year of 3131 BC is also the 864th month of the Vedic chronology. This date concerns something of importance to the Anunnaki, perhaps a sign or the start of a movement. 3 calendars all relate to the Anunnaki involve this date. Of course, the Anunnaki chronology, the descent of the Watchers, and the Vedic calendar. As this is years before the flood, here too is an Anunnaki-related countdown to the end of their dominion and kingdoms at the Diluvian disaster of 2239 BC.